Hello everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Now we're reaching the end of the December season and I've managed to hit rank 4 on Wild mode. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break from Wild for a couple of days just to see out the end of the December season, and I'm going to be playing a bit of Standard mode. Now, what am I playing today? I'm playing Big Spell Mage, and the two decks that interest me are Kibler's deck, that's Brian Kibler, and StrifeCro. So what's the point of this deck? Well, Spiteful Summoner brings out some big minions onto the board, summons them onto the board based on the mana cost of your spells. It's a very interesting card. It can let you get board presence very, very quickly to the point where you can just overwhelm your opponent. I tried it out in Priest on Wild mode, and as I say, it was a lot of fun and very, very effective. So that's the idea, summoning these big minions onto the board. You've got Frostitch Jaina in both decks, so you can get your Water Elemental army for some insane healing in the late game. And you've got a number of defensive tools in both decks. You know, cards like Blizzard, for example, Meteor, to eliminate enemy minions to keep control of the board. Dragon's Fury is another big board clear in this deck, as in both decks as well. So let's just look at some of the differences. So Kibler's deck does not play ice blocks, whereas StrifeCro's deck plays the Secrets package. 2 ice blocks, 2 Medievh's Valets, and 2 Archaeologists. Ice blocks, pretty decent. It's a survival tool. It's, you could argue, quite a broken survival tool because it does give you a better chance of winning against, you know, certain decks like Exodia Mage, which will, you know, rely on gathering combo pieces and then will just burst you down after completing a quest, perhaps, and you've got no chance. But with Ice Block, you suddenly have a chance, because before they can do their little combo with Sorcerer's Apprentices and Antonidas, they've got to pop the block, and that can be quite difficult for them to do. So Ice Block can really ruin their day. So yeah, Ice Block certainly has value. However, Ice Block does interfere with Dragon's Fury. You do run the risk of getting a 3 damage AoE instead of a 6 or a 7 damage AoE, because Dragon's Fury just happens to find Ice Block in your deck and you get your 3 damage AoE. Now in some instances 3 damage AoE can be fine, but in other instances it's just not enough. So there is a consideration there of interfering with Dragon's Fury. The Kibler deck runs Pyros, whereas the StrifeCro deck does not. Now, I'm a massive, massive fan of Pyros. If you're careful and you play around Potion of Madness, Pyros is a good card. Obviously, both decks play Frostitch Jaina, so Pyros is an elemental. As a 2-cost body, a 6-cost body, or a 10-cost body. That healing in the late game can sometimes be game-winning. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Pyros, and I'm happy to see him included in at least one of the decks. Kibler's deck runs Acolytes of Pain. Card draw is important, absolutely, and sometimes having an Acolyte down that you can ping can be a big deal. You know, the more cards you draw, the more options you have. Whereas the StrifeCro deck does not play Acolytes of Pain. I think it instead prefers that Secrets package with the Ice Blocks, the Archaeologists, and the Medievh's Valets. I guess Archaeologist in itself is like card draw. It draws you an Ice Block into your hand. That thins out your deck, I guess, which is fair enough. So what else is different? Kibler's deck runs Cabal Courier. I like the Courier. It's flexibility, I guess. You know, you can draw a spell, a card that can save you at the last minute. Yeah, I like the flexibility. The StrifeCro deck doesn't run the Courier. I like to look at Cabal Courier as good in an emergency. It may see, there's a key word, it may give you something that can help you survive. So what else? The Kibler deck runs Tar Creepers, which is really, really good against aggro. Again, StrifeCro doesn't run Tar Creepers. Again, you've got that secrets package instead. I like Tar Creepers, I really do. Paladin is all over the ladder at the moment. Aggro Paladin, you know, very quickly gaining board presence with, you know, low attack, low health minions, just swarming the board and then perhaps buffing some of them up. Tar Creeper can buy you a turn or two. Doesn't sound like much, but actually that can be everything you need to draw into your Dragon's Fury or to draw into your Blizzard. It can give you that time to draw into those other cards. What else? Kibler's deck runs one copy of Flamestrike. StrifeCro does not run Flamestrike. I like Flamestrike because it's big AoE, obviously. But it does give you another option to, you know, for comboing with Dragon's Fury, which is pretty good. What else is different? The Kibler deck runs one copy of Meteor and 2 copies of Blizzard, whereas the StrifeCro deck runs 1 Blizzard, 2 Meteors. Interesting. So what's more valuable? 1 copy of Blizzard or 2 copies of Blizzard? 1 copy of Meteor or 2 copies of Meteor? I guess it depends on the meta, it depends on who you're facing, what you're facing. If you're facing big chunky fat minions, Meteor's pretty good, you know, that big damage, it can take out something that's massive. Whereas Blizzard is good against aggressive boards that go very, very wide, I suppose, doing that 2 damage to an entire board, rather than just doing Meteor's damage to 3 minions. So yeah, there's considerations there, I guess, on who and what you're facing. And finally, Kibler does not run Alexstrasza or Pyroblast. StrifeCro does. Are those 2 cards really needed? Well, Alex on turn 9 into, I don't know, Firelands Portal to the face on turn 10, and then the following turn Pyroblast them and kill them because 10 plus 5 is 15, which is lethal. It's won me a couple of games against Tempo Rogues with the StrifeCro deck before I started recording, obviously. Yeah, I won some games with the turn 9 Alex into a Firelands Portal, into a Pyroblast, and they didn't heal, they couldn't heal, they didn't run any healing, and therefore they just died. And obviously against classes that can heal, so Priest, so if you were to Alex a Priest on turn 9, expect a greater healing potion on their next turn, followed by the hero power just being spammed. So yeah, less effective against classes that can heal, or that can heal quickly. If you're going up against a Warlock and they've played Bloodreaver Gul'dan, yeah, if you turn 9 Alex, well, actually it's very unlikely that you'll always get Alex on turn 9. Usually it's at some point after that, and it could be at a point where they've already played Bloodreaver Gul'dan, and therefore they can just start healing their face. Yeah, if you're going up against an Elemental Mage and they've got Frostlich Jaina and some Elementals down, they can just start healing their face. So yeah, Alex into spells to kill your opponent, that combo, it doesn't always work. So yeah, I guess it's not essential. If you're looking to kill your opponent, you do have Frostlich Jaina in both decks, and you can summon your army of water elementals, and yes, that takes a bit longer to kill your opponent because you've got to summon each water elemental, but eventually, once you get your little army going, yeah, they do a bit of damage. Oh, and speaking of armies, Dragoncaller Alanna is in both decks. An army of dragons is even better than an army of water elementals because the dragons themselves do 5 damage, and that in itself is significant. If your opponent has exhausted all of their board clears, then they don't expect Alanna to come down, and then it is literally game over very, very quickly. Okay, sorry, that was quite a mouthful there. Thank you for sitting through that very lengthy comparison. There's probably some things I've missed out. But yeah, both of these decks are viable in my opinion. Both are interesting, and we're going to have a look at a few games. We're going to start off with the StrifeCro deck. So this is going to be one of my longer videos. I hope you guys are prepared. And yeah, over to StrifeCro with Big Spell Mage on the standard mode ladder.
Let the games begin.
Right, so we're starting out against a priest. Now, what kind of a priest is it? Is it the Razar Death Knight priest? Is it Big Spell priest? Those are the questions that need to be asked. This opening hand is pretty good, I'd say. We have some options, we have some flexibility here with these three cards. I guess we're just going to be reacting to whatever he does first. And he starts out with the classic priest play, Northshire Bloody Cleric. Well, the end's going to be coming for that cleric, unless he has Shadowed Pain. If he doesn't, bye-bye cleric. Yep, bye-bye cleric. What he should have done was trade the cleric into the Doomsayer and heal the Doomsayer to draw a card. He didn't draw a card. So I'll draw a card instead. So Archaeologist gets us Ice Block. Now Ice Block thins out our deck by one card. We've got that secret in our hand, ready to play it in an emergency when we need to. Stop us from dying. Ha! Pyroblast. But he knows we have Pyroblast now. So we've given away a bit of our game plan. Ugh. That's the trouble with joust effects. They suss you out very quickly once they see what cards you're playing. But we also know information about him, and we now know that this dude is a big spell priest who has a nice aggressive early game.
Excuse me, you are on.
Now the secrets package here really coming in handy. Medievh's Valet, able to snipe down a minion, that's pretty good.
I'm not ready.
So that board needs to go. I think Meteor is fine here because it's mana efficient. 6 mana, 6 cost Meteor. That's fine. We have Spiteful Summoner ready perhaps for next turn.
My eyes are open.
Now, Earthen Ring Farseer. It's an interesting inclusion in his deck. It's a card that, back in the day, used to be in every single deck almost. Now there's, I guess, a lot more competition for that 3 mana slot. You don't see it anywhere near as much. But good to see the Farseer. Not seen it played for some time. Wow, this guy is going really wide on the board here. Oh, hello. Medievh's Valet. Oh, sorry, Medievh the Guardian. Must not confuse Medievh the Legendary Guardian with a lowly Medievh's Valet. Oh dear. What an insult to Medievh. So, a lot of pressure here from the priest. A lot of pressure. What do we do? Drawing last, of course. What do we do? We have a Meteor. We can Meteor and ping. That's an option. And I think that removes the most attack power from the board, perhaps? Does it? Yes, it does. Ooh! 9/7 body. That's decent.
I always win.
Okay, and just like that, we've swung the board round. We have the dominant board now. Of course. How's the next Spiteful Summoner?
Where's my
Ha! Katrina. Of course, draw spell last, as you do. So this game is swings and roundabouts. He had the big board, then I had the bigger board, now he's got back to having the big board again. We don't have lethal, unfortunately. We have Pyroblast in hand, but it's not lethal. It's close. It's actually very close. But we've got to start trading. So, trading my Medievh there. And now I go for AoE. Ha! Polymorph. Damn it. So, why did I trade the Medievh in first? I traded the Medievh in case I got Polymorph, and I did, unfortunately. So if I'd not traded the Medievh, then I wouldn't have cleared his entire board. Okay, so that, ladies and gentlemen, was the StrifeCro Big Spell Mage. Dragon's Fury can sometimes not work out if you know, if it synergizes with a 4-cost spell like Polymorph, and that was an example there of us hoping for it to synergize with a bigger spell, but it didn't. But that's why we made the trade, so it all sort of worked out in the end. So now we're going to look at Kibler's Big Spell Mage, and we're going to look at a few games of his deck in action on the standard mode ladder, and we're starting out against, hey, another priest. Do you see a pattern here? Priest is everywhere on the ladder in various incarnations, along with Paladin and Q-Block. Priest, Paladin, Q-Block. That's those are the three most common classes / decks that I'm facing at the moment. Aggro Paladin, to be specific. And with Priest, it can be Big Spell Priest, it can be Reno Razar Priest, or Highlander Priest on standard, to be precise. So we have the Pyros. Okay, Mana Geode. That's something you don't see every day. Or don't see at all, to be precise. So Doomsayer is our best response. Of course. Shadowwed Pain. Of course. Yeah. We can't play anything on this board, because he'll just trade it and heal and get more minions. That's unfortunate. Ooh, Archbishop Benedictus, or Shadowflame. And actually Sorcerer's Apprentice isn't half bad either. I actually don't know which one to pick. I'm going to take the Shadowflame. I think each of those cards has merits. But with Shadowflame, because I'm going to be summoning some big minions, hopefully, Shadowflame could work out for me in terms of clearing his board, because we don't know what the hell he's playing. I mean, he plays a Mana Geode, so we don't know what the hell is in the rest of his deck. Okay, that worked out for us. it could have synergized with Polymorph, and then we'd be really sad because his board would not have been cleared, and then he'd have healed his mana geode, and yeah, we'd have cried. But no, that worked out for us pretty well. But Draconoid Operative, there's a clue for us now. The rest of his deck is going to have dragons in it. Oh look, Polymorph. Damn it. The number of times... Oh god, are you kidding me? We get the darkness. Are you kidding me? Oh. The number of times we've had... I've had Polymorph synergize with Spiteful Summoner. It's just made me so sad. We have so many expensive spells in our deck. And I seem to be getting this interaction with Polymorph more often than I should get. It's really annoying. Anyway, what do we pick here? I'm going to take a bit of damage, I think. Flame Geyser seems decent. Oh, that's good. We can Flame Strike away his big dragons. I'm still convinced that Shadow Flame is going to get me value in this game. Now that we're a bit clearer on his deck, we know there's dragons coming, possibly big dragons. You know, Medievh the Guardian into Shadow Flame can clear a big board for us. Speaking of big, that dragon's pretty big. So, what do we do here? Do we trade everything in and play Dragon's Fury? Nah. We set up Medievh. Yeah. I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna be really brave here, and I'm gonna say, hit my face. Hit my face for 8. I can take it. And actually, I think I can. Because eventually, you know, we'll stabilise with our AoE, and then we'll get Frostitch Jaina, and we'll just heal forever. Is he trading? He's trading! Wow, okay. Even better for me. Clearly wants to protect his 3/6 dragon there. So it's a bit of a gamble playing Pyros. We are afraid of Potion of Madness, obviously. But now I think is a good time to play it. You know, we get a bit of a wide board going. And just pray he doesn't have Potion of Madness. Okay. So... bit of aggression coming our way with the Scalebane and its buffs to attack power. What is he doing? He's targeting Pyros. Better not be Potion of Madness. 2 mana to play with. The suspense is killing me. Come on, what is it? Okay, that's fine. Shadowed Pain. We get the 6-cost Pyros back to hand. That's cool. Absolutely fine. Okay. Is it time to Shadow Flame now? Or do we just Blizzard? Or do we Flame Strike? There's options. I'm happy to Blizzard because I've still got that weapon equipped. And we get a big minion out of it. If we'd Shadow Flamed, and we could have, if we'd Shadow Flamed, we'd have got something for 4 cost out. Not as good value. And I'm in no rush. You know, I've still got 2... I've got 3 big AoE clears in my hand. I am in no rush. Syndragosa. Now, there's a card I've played on wild mode a bit in Mage over the last couple of months. It's a really fun card. It's just ridiculously slow, but really fun. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
Succumb to me. Hand is too full.
So yeah, killing both of the Sindragosa summons there. Filled his hand, caused him to mill himself, overdraw. That's pretty good. Interestingly, the card he lost was Dragonfire Potion. It's actually pretty good for us. Because remember, we do summon minions in this deck. Using the various cards and spells and effects in this deck. So Dragonfire Potion being milled away is good for those minions. It's good for our board. Of course, if we play Alanna, well, she summons dragons. His Dragonfire Potion would be useless. Okay, more from the secret agent, right. Well, hey! Brilliant! Now, why did I feel safe doing that? Because both polymorphs are in my hand. That's why I felt safe doing that. Because I knew I wasn't going to get wrecked by a polymorph again. And look at the darkness just sitting there on that board, contemplating life, contemplating its existence, contemplating the darkness. It's annoying because it's taking up a spot on my board, and eventually when I play Alanna, yeah, we're going to get one less dragon because of the bloody darkness, but... Interesting. Do I just ignore that and play Jaina? Or do I look at gaining some armour here?
Bring pain. Reality.
Oh, come on. That is so rubbish. The reason I was contemplating Jaina is because the sooner you can get the Death Knight set up, the better. Wow, Kalemos, wow, just wow. Thankfully though, the AoE damage from Kalemos doesn't do much there, it just kills off a couple of small things, it's fine. I want to play the Summoner whilst I've still got some big spells in my deck. We're going to soon be getting to the point where all of those spells are going to end up being drawn in my hand. So I think the Polymorph there was fine. We have another copy of Polymorph in our deck, in our hand. Sorry, so we can still deal with something else big or massive that he plays. He's really taking his time here. He's really thinking this through carefully. Okay. Oh, of course. We actually did have a beast. Of course. Raven Familiar is a beast. Completely forgotten about that. Right, so. what do we do? Is it just time? Yeah.
Do not fear power. Fear those who wield it.
So now it's time for that water elemental army. Now if he's smart, he'll trade the sheep into the water ellie or find some way to kill it off. You'd be surprised at the number of people who, I think at this level on the ladder, who don't make sensible plays like that. They'll get their 1 damage into the face with the sheep, and then curse themselves the following turn when you use your hero power to create another water elemental. I think some people haven't figured out how the Frostlich Jaina hero power works. I guess it's fair, you know, if you don't own the card, if you don't play it, if you don't come up against it very often, it's easy to forget. It really is. And if you're playing on autopilot, which I do sometimes, if you're doing something else whilst you're playing, it's easy to forget, and then you start making subpar plays without realising it. That was actually pretty good for him. Holy Nova. Wow. We still need to play a couple of big spells before we can play Alanna, because we want to get value on the dragons that she summons. Actually, no, that's actually worked out. I was thinking that I still had to play more big spells. No, we'd played enough. We've got 5 dragons. That's actually pretty decent. So why did I make that play? Well, he can't kill me with what he has on board. At least I don't think he can. Therefore, this would test out for Shadowreaper Anduin, potentially. He'd go face and then play Anduin, because he has to deal with my board. I have a lot of damage on board, and he knows that I've probably got AoE, board clears still to come. So it's sort of saying to him, look, you need to start trading with my board, or kill it off completely. Otherwise, if I can deal with your taunt, there is a risk of you dying. That's what this play was saying. And I think he got the message. But he started trading. Yeah. He sees the lines, he sees the threat. Doing his utmost there to clear as much as possible. But hey, it's worked for me because it's bought me some more time. I didn't take the face damage, and we can still clear his board. The question is, what do I do? Do I Flame Strike? Do I Blizzard? Do I even need to use either? Okay, this is absolutely fine now. So what have we got? We've got a beast, we have a sheep, we have an elemental, and we have some dragons on board. What a combination. It's like a zoo. A Hearthstone zoo. Beasts, elementals, dragons. Yeah, it's over. But we can just show off for a bit. That was a pretty sweet win. Almost went to fatigue. Okay, in this next game, we're going up against a Warlock. And this opening hand is not the opening hand that I wanted to see. Now when you see the Librarian, you think, god damn it, card draw. And then you see another one drop played and you think Zoolock. Or discard lock. Or just a demon lock. It's buffing his demons. Interesting. Yeah, and buffs those demons, or the demons, some more. That's pretty bad. We have to polymorph that. Polymorphing a 1-drop feels bad, but had to be done. It's a really aggressive opening from the Warlock. That makes me feel slightly better. Seeing patches coming out of the hand rather than the deck, that makes me feel better. Okay, he has some information now about what we have in our deck, so he's going to know to expect Blizzard at some point.
Unleash me.
Not sure why he made the double trade there. Despicable Dreadlord's 1 damage AoE would have cleared my board, so I'm not sure what he was thinking there. So we get enough damage, just enough damage to clear out his board. Now I'm going to set up some armor gain on my next turn. I'm expecting a demon to come down, therefore I'm expecting that I'll need to play Polymorph or Firelands Portal. That on its own is not enough to warrant either of those spells. But a Blood Fury Potion, buffing it up, now that does change things a little bit. I think Polymorph is fine here. If I'd played Firelands Portal, I'd have needed to have traded, and I don't want to do that. So, this is fine. Both Polymorphs are gone though, and we need to be wary of that. If he plays Voidlord, we don't have a Polymorph for it. Oh my god, and he's just discarded Bloodreaver Gul'dan. Okay. We win this game. I mean, it's basically over for him now. He can't win. He just... And a Bone Mare too. It's over. And I feel so confident now. And it's such a surge of confidence too. The only thing that could wreck my day now is Enzoth if he plays Void Lords and any other Death Rattle minions. But then I think that's more exclusive to Wild. I don't know. I don't have enough experience of standard mode on the ladder to know what's happening, what gets commonly played in Warlock. Do they play Enzoth with Void Lords? Is that a thing? You know, in Wild, you have Sylvanas, you have Void Lords, you have Void Callers. It does make sense to play Enzoth because you get these other minions back to life as well. But a number of those cards are exclusive to Wild mode, so... Voodoo Hexer. That's actually pretty decent here. It blocks the Bone Mare. That's so good. And he's likely to trade because he needs to get through my board. Yeah, do 3 damage to your own face. I've always had issues with Flame Imp. You draw it in the late game, it's terrible sometimes. When you're just trying to survive and not die. And then here comes the Flame Imp killing you for 3. Yeah. Okay, so another game here, and it's another Warlock. So far with the Kibler deck, we've faced off against a Dragon Priest playing Spiteful Summoner. We've faced off against, I guess you could call that a Demon Lock in that previous game. And now we've got another Warlock. Another Warlock playing the Librarian.
Side effects? No. Trust me.
Let the pain speak to me.
So hopefully we can get at least a couple of cards out of our Acolyte. Is there a way to get 3 cards out of it? So he's doing what you'd expect, he's just tapping. Nah, it's going to be 2 cards. But that's more than enough, honestly. So we get the Pyros down now. We expect it to die very shortly. But we're heading towards turn 6 very soon. So maybe it's something that we're going to want to play on turn 6. Okay, so Skull of the Minari now, every turn he'll be putting a demon down. Well, for each of his turns, he'll be putting a demon down. So we can expect Doomguard, we can expect Voidlord. This does look like Q-Block. Or a faster version of Q-Block once those demons start coming down. The criticism of Skull of the Minari is that on the turn you set it up, it's very slow. Very slow. But on subsequent turns, yeah, it becomes a problem because of the steady stream of demons. So I'd play the Doomsayer, hoping we get some value there and killing something big. But no, he was smart. He had his Blast Crystal Potion. And now this Voidlord is a bit of a problem.
There is a method to my madness.
Oh, he plays Enforcers. Interesting. See, whenever I think of Q-Block, I just keep thinking of the Wild Mode version. In Wild Mode, it doesn't play Abyssal Enforcers. There's lots of other cards you can include. Okay, so the interactions here are pretty annoying. My 1 health minions just die. They just die to those Voidwalkers. It's very unfortunate. So we need to look at a way of avoiding that. I could Blizzard here. I could Blizzard, and I can't ping though. That's very annoying. I can't ping down his Enforcer. So instead, I could just Tar Creeper. Probably should have played that first. Not that it matters. Yeah, I should have drawn the spells first. But again, don't think it really matters. 2 6-cost spells. I wouldn't have had the mana to have played them anyway. It's fine. And part of me is thinking, should I have traded into his Voidwalkers? Because now I'm setting myself up for Defile. And the fact he's going face tells me that Defile is... yeah, and there it is. It's really good for him. But, having said that, I'm assuming now that he's running out of options, that he's running out of demons. They're all being used up, slowly but surely. And I'm really liking the 6 health on that minion. See, Doomguard can't kill it. That's really, really good. So hopefully just a couple more turns of having to deal with demons that are brought out by Skull of the Minari. And once we've dealt with them, that's it. He's discarded... what? Wait, did he discard Bloodbreather Gul'dan earlier? Was I just thinking... Was that the previous game? I don't know anymore. This has been a really long video and I'm really tired. Manic Soulcaster is really good here. Why is it really good? Well, I have Pyros in hand. I can put another copy of Pyros back into my deck. That in itself is pretty good from a value standpoint. Okay, Doomguard for aggression.
Reality woven.
I think Armour gain is always helpful here. Oh, that's so good! It's so good, so unexpected too. We actually get to clear his board.
Your soul shall suffer.
Ah, he's not happy about that.
I appreciate that.
Huh, he runs Sacrificial Pact
They'll serve me now.
and Dark Pact. He runs all the packs. Oh dear. Okay, so do we just Meteor? I think we do.
Reality.
But we gain some more armour in the process. I'm always reluctant to commit both of those at once, because if he's got AoE, then we lose our opportunity to gain future armour. But in this situation, it's fine. I'm okay with 19 armour. I have, you know, that's just great. That's more than enough. And I think on that basis, we will outlast him in this game. I think this is over. We have Pyros, and once he kills that, we have the 10 cost Pyros, so it's all good. Interestingly, no Frostish Jaina just yet. I mean, that would be the icing on the cake. If we get Jaina with Pyros on board and we just start hitting face, healing for 6, that would be insane. That would seal the deal. Okay, there's Bloodbreather Gul'dan. I had got confused earlier thinking he'd discarded it. No, that was in a previous game. I'm so confused. Right. Now, that is a big army of demons, but there's Alanna. It's as if she heard there was an army of demons and she was like, alright, I'm on my way. I'm on my way with my army of dragons. And this is his last push, right? This army of demons on the board, that's his last and final push. The question is, how do we want to go around dealing with them? I could polymorph the Void Lord, but I assume there's another Voidlord in his deck? Or a cube, perhaps? Do we want to save the poly for a cube or something else? And I think, yeah, I think it's fine. You see, in this situation, we kill the Voidlord. He only gets one Void Walker back. So I think it was fine to save the Polymorph there. Interesting, he sacrifices the Voidwalker rather than using the hero power. Interesting, and want to draw a card as well? At this late stage of the game, interesting, okay. So we use Blizzard again, assuming that this is his last big push. See, we've got Blizzard and Hellfire. So I could just Hellfire here. But I'm not. And here's why I'm holding back. I'm holding back because I want to see what else he's happy to commit. The AoEs do have to be used selectively and carefully, and you don't want to use too much in one go. You see, look, he's just committed massively into this board. And to be honest, alarm bells should have been ringing when I didn't ping down his 1 health demon. And he should have thought, oh god, there must be some more AoE coming. No, he just went all out into the board, overcommitted, and now he's lost his whole board. But now we're down on AoE, so... but we're not expecting anything massive to come out now. I think we're all good. Okay, we sort of get a dragon army. There's only 4 big dragons there. But it'll do.
I'm almost out of cards.
The Spellstone not healing him there. Drain Soul not healing him. Well, he's not getting the value on the healing. Desperation plays there. And yeah, if he plays Deathwing in his deck, we have Polymorph for Deathwing, and then Dragoncaller Alanna being played again due to Manic Soulcaster. Yeah, playing around Deathwing. Okay, I just want to have a look at a couple of final quick highlights here before we end the video. In this game, I was going up against a Lyra Priest, a Lyra Dragon Priest actually, and this was his second Lyra. He'd got her resurrected. So he'd had insane spell value already from the first Lyra. And you can see he'd even managed to get Armour as well. So this game was really funny. It was a fascinating game. And it was just a case of navigating as best as possible. We'd committed quite a bit onto this board. And you're always scared because of AoE. And in this case, I'm actually happy to leave Northshire Cleric on the board, because if he wants to heal it and draw a card and go to fatigue, he can do so. Psionic Probe, it is... I've never seen anyone play that card before. But in this case, he'd stolen a useless spell. Got him nowhere. And this final clip. That warrior was at 57 armour. I think earlier in the game he'd been at 60 plus armour. And I don't want to show you the full game because, well, if you'd watch the full game, we'd be here for 30 minutes. just on this one game alone. We're both in fatigue. This was a Dead Man's Hand warrior with Death Rattle minions. Enzoth had come down twice. And given how low my health total had been, I was scared that I was just going to die to fatigue. Because he had played so many armor gaining cards in this game. And it was actually very close. And it was Dragoncaller Alanna that's allowed me to push. Maybe I should have picked Jiraxxus there. Just for memes and just for laughs. But there's no need, actually, because he has nothing to play. He has nothing to play. So to be honest, doesn't matter what we picked. Yeah, it was getting very, very close. I was taking significant fatigue damage as well. And if we hadn't ended that game soonish, we would have died to fatigue. So yeah, that was like a 20+ minute game with Dead Man's Hand. Don't care to repeat a game like that again. It does need a lot of concentration. It does take a lot out of you, but it was worth it because we did get the win. Okay, so we've seen StrifeCro's deck in action, you've seen Kibler's deck in action. You only saw one game of StrifeCro's deck, but I've played a few more games with it before recording for this video. And what's my opinion? Both decks are very effective. Ice Block has saved me 2 or 3 times and allowed me to come back into a game, because then I played Frost Edge Jaina, get the elementals going, start healing. So it has helped, but there's been other occasions where, I've had Medievh's Valet in hand and really want to use it, do something with it, but I can't because there's no Ice Block set up. So Medievh's Valet can be a dead card at times, and that's something that's worth considering. Arcanologist can be kind of a dead card if you end up drawing both Ice Blocks in hand and you have both Arcanologists in hand as well. I mean, that happens sometimes. So those are things to be aware of. But overall, I'm going to go with Kibler's deck. I like the Acolyte of Pain. I like the ability to ping your Acolyte to draw into a big board clear, for example. I do like that. I like the addition of Pyros as well. And I like not including Ice Block so that it doesn't interfere with Dragon's Fury. Often, far too often actually, it's Polymorph that interferes with Dragon's Fury, and you get the 4 damage AoE rather than a 6 damage or a 7 damage. That tends to be an issue. And I've played quite a few games with the Kibler deck, and I don't know, it's really strange. When I play Dragon's Fury, I get the interaction with Polymorph, far more often than I statistically should. And I don't know why, but it annoys the hell out of me. But anyway, I'll stop complaining. Overall, yeah, I'm going to go with the Kibler deck here, although I know that StrifeCro had been trying out different versions, different iterations, so that deck right there is probably not the latest StrifeCro deck. There's probably others milling around. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was a longer video than usual, but then I've had some time off work, with it being the Christmas holidays, so I've had some more time to play games and produce content. So I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you guys very soon for more Hearthstone fun. We'll probably be going back to wild mode in our next video, but we'll wait and see. But until then, do take care, and yeah, I'll see you all very soon.